Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A man is shot on St. Croix. The Senate hears testimony on the governor's home, and it's time to clean up the chickens in Castle Burke. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, a construction worker was shot in the face earlier today. The incident happened in Campo Rico area of St. Croix. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jerome. This, we believe, happened about 40 minutes or so. I'm standing here with VIPD Public Information Officer Melody Rames. We are in Campo Rico area here, a constructed supermarket. And Melody, could you please explain to us what's going on?
Well, as you can see, Wes, the investigation is still going on. However, initial reports have one person that was shot. Apparently, maybe somebody who had been working here in construction, shot in the face, and he was taken to the hospital. The shots came out basically from that bushy area on this side, and there's a side door where the gentleman probably just maybe looked out or was standing at the door, and person or persons shot him. However, the canine is out. They're looking, and we're following all leads at this time to find out what happened.
Okay. So right now we have at least one suspect that they're looking for, and one person is he critically injured? He was shot in his face.
He was shot in his face, and
he was a construction worker probably here.
Probably a construction worker. You'd have to find out really his medical condition from the hospital. Yeah.
And so what should the public be on the lookout for then? To any description of anybody? No?
Right now, I mean, a lot of times people talk or, things seem a little suspicious. If you know anything or think you know anything about this crime, you can call the police department.
Okay. Thank you very much. Melody Rames, VIPD spokesperson. Here's what we have. Approximately 30 minutes or so. We had shots fired, like Melody said. We have a construction worker who was down. He was shot in his face, and we believe the assailant or the assailants could have came from those bushes. You see the detectives in there now, forensics in there, scouring that area. You have a lot of detectives here today. K9 is as well. Deputy Chief Howell's on the scene, and a lot of police just going through the motions, trying to see what happened. Right now, it is about 20 minutes to 11. So if you know anything about this shooting, you should call 911, 778-2211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, 1-800-222-8477. I'm Wes Small in Campo Rico for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And we now believe that the construction worker could have been shot in the face because of stolen marijuana plants, but that's not official. And we have a suspect in custody tonight involving the stabbing that took place recently in the Hull Bay area of St. Thomas. Here's Melody Rames with more.
On Sunday, October 18th at about 7 p.m., an assault first was reported to the police from the Hull Bay beach on St. Thomas. The suspect, David Carter, was arrested and charged with the crime. Police investigation revealed that Carter approached a man at the beach and punched him in his face, causing swelling and bruising. A witness intervened and was stabbed on the left side of his neck by Carter. The stabbing victim, who is 54 years old, was taken by ambulance to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center, where he underwent surgery for the puncture wound. Carter was placed on a $110,000 bail, which he was unable to post. He was turned over to the Bureau of Corrections pending his advisor rights hearing.
Thanks, Melody. Well, finally, today is the day. We're talking about the security enhancements at the governor's home on St. Thomas. News Channel 8's Wes Small has that story.
All right, thanks a lot, Jerome. This is a hot topic. It's on all the radio shows, especially this morning. We're talking about Governor John DeYoung's home and the very fact that construction is on his home. $422,000, and it's because of security measures. Now, that has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially at a time that we are in economic plight, when everyone is cutting back. And that is why a lot of phone calls have come into Channel 8 and to all the talk shows of what is going on. Well, today, finally, the Senate Committee on Financial Services, Infrastructure, and Consumer Affairs, they are hearing testimony as I speak right now at the Earl B. Otley Hall on St. Thomas. It is chaired by Senator Neville A. James, and I have to tell you that the testimony is being heard from mostly out of the governor's cabinet, and they are echoing some past cases that involve governors in the United States like Kansas, Arizona, and the like that have added infrastructure for security reasons or whatever on their homes or in Government House, and how Governor DeYoung is claiming and his cabinet is claiming they have done nothing wrong, and if they have used public funds, it is perfectly legal. That is the question. Did the governor use our money, tax dollars, to put $422,000 in his home? Let's go over the figures that we're talking about. $98,929 for a fence. $82,143 for the guardhouse. $156,100 for a driveway. Many people are criticizing the governor this afternoon. Let us go to that testimonial hearing and find out exactly what is going on, because if the evidence is gathered and they find that the governor is in violation and he has broken the law, impeachment proceedings could come in the future.
Of Justice, dated Monday, January 22nd, 2007, reference security-related improvements to governor's private residence. Dear Acting Commissioner Moorhead, Mr. Othniel Vanterpool, Director of Operations at the Department of Public Works, recently advised this office that Governor DeYoung intends, during his term of office, to reside at his private residence rather than at the governor's official residence on Denmark Hill. He also advised that, as a result of the governor's decision, security-related improvements will have to be made to the governor's private residence. Mr. Vanterpool requested advice on whether the cost of such improvements may be properly incurred by the government. It is our opinion that the cost of security-related improvements to the governor's residence may be properly incurred by the government. An expenditure of public funds is permissible, even if a private individual derives a special benefit, as long as a public purpose is served and that the public purpose is the primary reason for the expenditure. CEG State Example Ariel Corbin versus Superior Court, 767, page 2, P2D 30, Arizona, 1988. Duckworth versus Kansas City, 758, P2D. As pursuant to the applicable authorities, public funds may be properly expended to pay the cost of improvements at the governor's private residence for the purpose of protecting the governor. Securing the protection of the governor is recognized as a valid public purpose and would be the primary purpose in making security improvements to his private residence. Since the improvements to the governor's private residence would serve a public purpose, it is permissible expenditure of private funds, even if the governor may derive a special benefit, such as appreciation of the value of his private residence.
No matter what the outcome today, as the senators gather the evidence in this hearing, I can certainly tell you that this will be talked about all the way until Election Day in November. This is for certain. It's a hot topic, and it's just not going to go away soon. For News Channel 8, I'm Wes Small.